What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another upload here, and it's going to be an additional upload, but on the potential for this very large Christmas snowstorm that could very well bring in tons of types of precipitation, whether it's snow, rain, sleet, extremely heavy rain, massive flooding across portions of the eastern United States here. So we have a few updates on this. Models have refreshed. We've got new accumulation totals for a lot of these areas, major shifts in snowfall areas for big cities as well. So we have a few updates here as well. We're going to be taking a deeper look into the severe weather threat as well for the coastal area. An enhanced force has just been issued for tomorrow for portions of the Carolinas, and as well we'll be looking at as well for the potential for very heavy snow beginning as early as tomorrow morning. So we've been talking about this for almost a week and a half, and it's about to happen here. So if you want to know whether you can get snow on Christmas Eve or Christmas morning, how much snow, and exactly if you're not getting snow, how big will the severe weather threat be in your area. So we're going to be looking at all of that as well, the flooding threats, snowfall threat, all of that. But if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe because, of course, I really appreciate it. And I do daily uploads like this every single day. So if you want to get more and more coverage throughout the whole season of winter, be sure to subscribe. But as well, if you're really liking the video, hit the like button so I know you guys like this type of videos and so I can continue to do them. And as well, if you have any questions for your local forecast, be sure to put them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to get to that comment and respond to it. But without further ado, let's get in the video. So here's now at the National Weather Service, and ever since my last video a few hours ago on the winter storm Harold, of course, that's going to bring in that extreme amounts of heavy snow there for portions of the Midwest. So that's obviously one of the factors in creating this big snowstorm here for Christmas. But I'm not going to really mention this a whole lot because I just made a video on it. So if you want to get updates on this major blizzard in the Midwest currently, be sure to watch that last video. It's pretty still somewhat kind of still accurate and recent, so if you want to check that out. But only a few updates on that is that there's blizzard warnings now in effect for Minneapolis, the Twin Cities. Those blizzard warnings continue to move more southern to the south into Nebraska. But right now, this low pressure is now in Wisconsin here, and this is going to be the one low pressure that helps bring in some of that snow across portions of Illinois and the Great Lakes here. So that's going to be one factor in this puzzle to create this Christmas snowstorm. And then the second puzzle is the second low pressure that's going to develop off the Gulf Coast will help develop now all this southern moisture here. So that's going to be a perfect mix. And that third and final piece of that puzzle is this high pressure there in the great southern portion of Canada. It's going to bring this cold, dry air, which is exactly why we have windshield alerts now for portions of the northern United States. That has not been issued in quite a while here. So the cold air, these two low pressures, all this comes combined, is going to create one large snowstorm here. We have now winter weather advisories in effect all the way from northern Georgia all the way up to portions of Pennsylvania, including now Pittsburgh, including now Helen, Georgia, including, I believe, the Johnson City, Tennessee area, including as well Franklin, North Carolina, as well near the Youngstown, Ohio region. We do actually have those winter weather advisories, and now we have winter warnings in effect for Charleston, West Virginia, for areas near I believe Huntsville or Huntersville, Kentucky, and southeastern portion of Kentucky there. We have a few windstorm warnings now in effect for far western Virginia, those higher elevations, and some windstorm warnings now in effect there for near Boone, North Carolina, and areas now in the far northeastern tip of Tennessee where we have those great Smoky Mountains there as well. Special weather statements are in effect all the way down to southern metro Atlanta. So we are having anything all the way down from southern metro Atlanta all the way up to New York when it comes to winter alerts here as well. We're also going to be seeing some extremely strong winds here, which is going to be a big factor in this strengthening low pressure as it does make its way across the whole East Coast. This will be a strengthening low pressure. We are already seeing the strong winds coming from the south here, from the strong high pressure over here. Obviously, that's strengthening low pressure over here. We're going to be seeing some strong winds meeting up into the areas of the south central United States here, and as well the southeast. So we have wind advisories across much of the United States here, all the way from areas like scattered areas, South Carolina, Texas, Louisiana, If you're in any slight, like light brown color, you are under winter weather advisory, or wind advisory, and that's going to be over 20 to 30 mile-an-hour wind gusts here. It's going to be very frequent here, so it's going to be very, very windy few days here for Christmas, which will help allow these cold, deep wind chills all the way down to the Gulf Coast and Florida to be below freezing here. So we're looking at a once in a few year event here when it comes to a Christmas event. But let's take a look now and go deeper into what we're expecting and the timing. So I want to go ahead and show the new GFS, since this is the new 18Z and it just came out a few minutes ago. So this is what they have in the next 12 hours here. So we're talking now less than 24 hours this is going to begin. I mean, it's really weird because we've been talking about this for a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and we kept saying, oh, next week, but now we're saying tomorrow. So it's really, time flies, doesn't it? But there's that one low pressure there, and there's that second low pressure down here in Louisiana. So there's number one, there's number two. So those are the two cold fronts that are going to help bring in all this moisture from the Gulf Coast all the way up to Canada. So they're kind of working together. But once this low pressure up here, it moves out, it's all up to this low pressure down here to create this system and steer, and it's going to obviously steer the path as it's cold there. The high pressure up there, you can kind of see the opening isobars now moving into North Dakota. So this high pressure will move it to North Dakota, which means the coldest air is now on its way here. I mean, we're seeing very cold temperatures as we speak, negative digits for portions of the Midwest. But the coldest air has yet to arrive. It's going to start arriving now by tomorrow night for areas in the Midwest. And that's going to help bring in that deep, dry, cold air across portions of the central United States. And that's going to meet up with all that moisture to the east. And then you're going to see that snow developing across portions of Illinois there. There's like Springfield, even southern Missouri there. And as we get now more and more into Christmas Eve, evening and afternoon, it's just going to get more and more hectic as a lot of that rain will start converting into snow all in the Nashville area, as well near the Louisville area, as well as Cincinnati. You can see a snow mix there as well. Indianapolis, maybe a few flurries, as well as Toledo and Dayton, a few flurries there. But there's the main low pressure down there in Tennessee, I believe, so right there. And there we're going to be seeing that really very big severe weather threat across portions of the southeast here. This is going to be where the severe weather threat will be for tomorrow morning. And it's going to be in Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi there. As we're going to be seeing that really heavy snow. So it's going to be heavy rain or heavy snow. So it's going to be heavy moisture and a precipitation rate no matter where you are, because that strengthening low pressure is right a few counties away, I guess you could say that. And then by then we now get later into now Thursday evening or tomorrow evening, now Christmas Eve evening here. People should be getting off work there. That's going to get a lot bigger of a factor here and a lot more widespread as it's cold front now. There it is, that high pressure there. It's going to bring in that big Arctic blast just going to be right behind this moisture. So the cold front, believe it or not, is going to be right on this line here. So it's going to be a very close call. We could see some snow for above freezing areas, especially in the southeast, but well up to the north, we will be seeing well below freezing temperatures. It's just a matter of time. When will that rain convert to snow, and how long that snow stick? Because this will be a quiet, fast-moving storm, as this cold front is going to be rushing in and be a force and just push it to the east there. Especially the fast-moving low-pressure system, it's going to really move out quite quickly here. So we won't be seeing as high snowfall totals than we will see in a slower-moving low-pressure system. But some snow now rain to start converting to snow for areas like Frankfort, Lexington, Columbus, and even all the way up to near Huntsville, Alabama, and to tomorrow morning here, Christmas Eve morning. And as we're now getting out to Christmas morning here, there's that low pressure up there in North Carolina, and that's where we're seeing that big severe weather threat now for Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, where we have the enhanced risk there for a 10% chance for tornadoes here. Nothing you expect much for a Christmas Eve and Christmas Day system, but that's going to continue to get more severe all the way from northern Georgia up to areas like Lake Erie. We're going to be seeing some very heavy snow, especially for areas that got hit really hard by gale, such as Pittsburgh, as well. Even Charleston to get more snow than they got with gale. They did get a few inches with gale, but it's going to be a lot more there. And as we now get later into Christmas Eve afternoon, we're going to start seeing, this is kind of around, I believe this is around, this is about noon. We're going to start seeing that snow now all the way to D.C. as well. Maybe some snow showers across maybe Virginia Beach. You can see a few snow showers there. Annapolis as well. Oops, I did not mean to do that. That is my bad. And then by now Christmas evening, then the snow showers start to diminish there. They're going to be seeing some big time flooding as well all the way up to the New England area. So we are going to be seeing a good amount of rain for the whole eastern coast and eastern United States. So whether you're getting snow or not, you are going to get some type of moisture and precipitation on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day if you live in the eastern United States. That's how big this low pressure will be. But let's look now at what more detailed radars have to say. So here's like now at the NAM 3 kilometer here, and this as well is their newest update. They just updated a few minutes ago with the GFS. So in the next few 11 hours here, this is by what? This is 5:44 a.m. Or sorry, this is 4:44 a.m. Eastern time, 3:44 a.m. Central time. So really early in the morning, Christmas Eve, we're gonna start seeing those snow showers diminishing from Harold across those areas there in the Midwest there, Des Moines. Obviously some scattered areas up there in northern Wisconsin, but there you see to the way to the east where we have at this point above freezing temperatures. I mean, the temperatures in Christmas morning, the highs will be very warm across the eastern United States from the 40s, 50s, even 60s, and then dropping drastically 12 hours later, now being in the 20s, teens, and 30s for some of these same areas just by Christmas Eve evening. But that's going to really allow for some scattered showers and severe weather. Not going to be too severe in this area. It'll be more towards severe in the more like the southeastern coast there. But even not get to the next, let's get 20 hours here. We're going to start seeing a few little showers developing across Tennessee, Ohio there, where we have those colder pockets of air as that cold front arrives. This is now going to be getting some really heavy rain across portions of the southeast and scattered showers all the way up to areas in the mid-Atlantic. So that snow that Gale has brought, that snow that Gale brought, it's going to start really going away because that rain's going to really take it away there. But there you see that snow really coming in now, all the way now by this is Christmas Eve evening. Snow developing all the way down from Ohio down to Georgia and Pennsylvania as well. Pennsylvania to Georgia. But the thing is with the NAM, they don't have anything for Columbus. They don't have anything at all for Columbus whatsoever. They don't have anything at all for Lexington. So really have to keep a look at what the NAM 3 kilometer has to say, because they are usually very detailed radar. But look, they have that very heavy snow now in my area all the way down to Metro Atlanta. Extremely heavy snow across the Appalachian Trail there. West Virginia, heavy snow for Kentucky, and heavy snow for eastern Ohio. But look at that severe weather. We're going to start seeing some really big banding here across areas in the mid-Atlantic coast and southeastern coast. And that's where we have that big threat right here, especially off the Outer Banks, where we have the enhanced risk for some scattered water spouts and tornadoes here. But really on more inland, that's where we'll be seeing those colder temperatures, of course, and really heavy snow. So it's not really till a lot later that the NAM gets that snow in Columbus. So they don't get it at all developing like the other models, but then they finally they kind of reach as that low pressure strengthens, becomes more wide, spreads isobars, spreads its moisture. Then we'll start to get that snow there for Columbus. Very heavy snow continuing for Charleston. Going to be a big snow maker for Charleston there. As you see, you're going to see that severe weather and even some big time flooding all the way up to the mid-Atlantic, tri-state area across the eastern corridor. So we are looking at some big severe weather threats as well. Not even just for the south, but as well more to the north there. And this is by Christmas Eve morning, of course, and then later on that big time flooding late on Christmas Day afternoon will move towards New England. Now let's look at the HRRR. It only goes 18 hours out. So I just want to show this and show you what they have more towards 18 hours out. But the next hour or so, seeing the blizzard conditions right now across the Twin City region up in Wisconsin will start to really diminish in the next few hours here later by tonight. In the next 10-ish hours, 12 hours, we're going to start seeing those rain showers developing across Nashville, Louisville, all the way down to Evansville, as well Indianapolis, a few showers here. So it's going to be very light. That's not going to be the big stoker or anything. It's going to be the entree of this moisture. And it's not really till later tomorrow more into now early morning, early to mid mornings when that moisture really comes together. Now bringing heavier amounts of moisture and precipitation rate across Knoxville, Huntsville, Birmingham, and you don't see any snow in sight yet. It's going to be really later until the afternoon to see that snow, because really again this cold front, of course, is behind the system the whole time until Christmas Eve afternoon. It's going to be a very close call. But of course, this is where we get 18 hours out now, so we can't really get any further out. But later on, by tomorrow, we'll be able to show that. Here's what the NAM 3 kilometer has for snowfall totals here. So it's really interesting here, of course. We're not going to be focusing on the Midwest right now. We're going to be focusing on the eastern United States for this. Look, they get snow all the way down, accumulated snow all the way down from Metro Atlanta all the way up to areas like Toronto. So it's really interesting here. More toward the global malls aren't really showing too much accumulation for Metro Atlanta. The only one that's really showing accumulation near Metro Atlanta or in Metro Atlanta is the CMC here. But the CMC, of course, isn't the most reliable. But, I mean, it's still definitely reasonable. But the NAM, all the NAMs are getting some type of accumulation for all the way down to Metro Atlanta. So definitely something to keep in mind. And you're probably thinking, oh, but the NAMs really, like you always say, they always overreact. But they don't really overreact this close out. I mean, this is less than 24 hours out. They would have common sense by now. And it's really once it's like over 4 days out, that's when the NAM really tends to be overreactive. The thing is, the NAMs didn't go 4 days out, so that's the funny thing. But you see, up to maybe an inch in my area. I really doubt an inch, maybe a quarter of an inch for me. But the NAMs leaning towards a good amount of snow there in northern Georgia. But look right here, more to the north there, in those higher elevations in the Appalachians, in the foothills of the Appalachians, that's where we'll be seeing those higher totals. Not only because the temperatures will be a lot colder, a lot longer, but as well, that low pressure will be strengthening as it goes up the East Coast in the Eastern Corridor, I-95, and that's when that precipitation rate will become not only harder, but stronger. So looking at anywhere from half foot there for Eastern Ohio, including Youngstown, Cleveland, up to Erie, Pennsylvania. So we are looking at an additional accumulation there from lake effect snow there from the warmer SST temperatures up there in the Lake Erie, with those really fastly cooling temperatures in the atmosphere. So it's going to bring in tons of banding there off Lake Erie there. Maybe the thing is, totals are really going down for Columbus. Less than an inch now. Less than an inch. Or around an inch. They're getting around an inch here. So that's the thing. Around an inch for Columbus. It's really drastically gone down there. Even the Metro Columbus area is even getting less than an inch. Or around an inch basically, so definitely something to keep in mind. But it's not just the NAM. The GFS showing up to barely even anything for Columbus here. So they aren't taking it as far south, like I did say. They're not taking it that far south, but they don't have anything out from Nashville anymore. Because what Nashville is, right here? Just the east. We're getting accumulation there. That's because Nashville's going to be right on that line where it converts to snow. And at that point, when it converts to snow, maybe a few flurries, but no accumulation there. Same thing for Metro Atlanta, nothing at all. But look, as it goes up the Appalachians, notice heavier amounts of accumulation there. Up to half foot there for Charleston, maybe an inch for Lexington, but more towards the border with Virginia and West Virginia, Kentucky areas could get up to near half foot of snow. But look, Ohio getting a trace, Columbus getting a trace of snow based on the GFS. Even far to the east, far to the north, far to the south, far to the west of Columbus, we're still getting less than an inch of snowfall. You have to go way far to the east, near Youngstown and near the Ohio River, to actually get some type of accumulation here. Again, a white Christmas is considered an inch or more. So even if you get an inch, or even if you get half an inch in Columbus, you're still not looking at a typical white Christmas. But as we see there, we're going to those heavier amounts of precipitation off Lake Erie, and that's what we'll definitely get a white Christmas without a doubt, up to a foot, near a foot of snow in these areas. But let's not forget the rain here. For those areas that aren't getting snow, let's look at your rainfall totals. But even areas that are getting snow, there are going to be some big time flooding there, especially towards kind of the eastern half of that low pressure's path. So near Metro Atlanta, around an inch of rain there. We're going to be seeing heavier totals. Actually, the far north we go, the heavier the totals we get. And actually, we're looking at potential major flash flooding. We do have flash flood watches across the eastern United States, which I forgot to mention. We have flash flood watches all the way from the Carolinas up to the New England region. So we're looking at big time flooding across the eastern corridor, up in the areas near the Great Smoky Mountains. We can up to get near half a foot of rain. And that's actually pretty reasonable, because as that low pressure strengthens, we're going to be seeing very heavy rain before it converts into snow in those general areas. And that's going to be really what we're going to be seeing throughout the whole pattern, all the way from the entire elevation in North Carolina, some scattered areas in Virginia. And it's going to really take a big toll there, all the way up into Pennsylvania. We're looking at anywhere from 7 to 8 inches of rain, and it's going to be in areas like that got really heavy snow and gale. It's going to wash away that snow. Temperatures will be very warm and humid across the New England area, so not going to be your storm whatsoever. So the thing is, we guys have snow on the ground for Christmas. It's going to be hard because that rain's going to come in by Christmas evening night, or Christmas Eve night. So it's going to be really interesting here, as early as Christmas Eve night. But the main system will come Christmas, of course. But you may wake up, depending where you are, for some snow on the ground. But by the end of Christmas night, you're not gonna have any snow on the ground there. That rain's gonna wash it away completely. And of course, we can't forget about the severe weather threat. We do have an enhanced risk. It's been a while since I've actually mentioned the SPC, or Storm Protection Center there. And enhanced risk is now in effect for 3.5 million people, all the way from the Myrtle Beach area all the way up to areas near Newport News and as well in Virginia Beach there. So in those areas, we won't get any snow, but we will get some daytime severe weather, especially for December. Norfolk, Chesapeake, Newport News, Portsmouth, and Wilmington, you guys are all under the enhanced risk there. And it just reloaded. There you go. Perfect. Slight risk has a bit higher totals of population, 5 million people there. That's going to be more widespread now in Virginia Beach, Raleigh, Durham, Richmond, and Hampton. And then the marginal risk is going to be very widespread all the way down from the Panhandle of Florida up to the Mid-Atlantic, up to 35 million people under the marginal risk. That's where we're going to be seeing some slight storms that could have some very strong winds, but going to be more towards a wind threat, not tornado threat in that marginal. The enhanced risk that's where we see the big time wind threats and tornado threat there. But Philadelphia, Jacksonville, Baltimore, and even all the way down to Tampa Bay, we do have the marginal tornado threat to a 10% chance. It's kind of shocking to see, but over 3.5 million people, of course, in that 10% chance. And 10% doesn't sound like a lot, but of course, for 10% for tornado risk, predicting the future is almost like a 50 to 60% chance in general, because when you have a 10% chance, it's almost guaranteed we're going to be seeing a tornado or two in that area. And even in a 2 to 5% chance, like we have all the way in the Mid-Atlantic, all the way down to the Panhandle of Florida, we can see tornadoes even in a 2% chance. And even outside of any probability, even if you're in a white, such as Georgia, maybe Alabama, Southern Florida, Mississippi, you guys can still get some isolated tornadoes here, but it's not the greatest probability. You're not forecasted, but there's still a chance there. But the winds can be a big time threat as well, especially for where we have the enhanced risk, because of course that strengthening low pressure will bring us some very strong winds as well. Those strong winds will come as well from those big cells and that's in the severe weather there. And hail is not going to be a big threat at all. No hail. It's really not really a winter threat, really. Even with a supercell, sometimes we don't get hail throughout the winter. It's just not the usual puzzle you see coming together to produce hail. There may be pea-sized hail, but definitely not the hail we see in spring and summer. But hope you guys enjoyed the video, and bye guys.